Darren Jr. here with my thoughts on all the Superman segments of Justice League. Now, if you guys don't know, I'm talking about all of the Superman stuff in Justice League. So this is a spoiler review, a heavy spoiler discussion. If you don't want to know anything about Superman, yes, he is in the movie, folks. Don't watch this video. Like it, put in your watch later list, go watch the movie, and then come back. But yeah, I'm going to be talking about this similar to what I did with Spider-Man and Civil War. People don't like them spoilers, even the obvious ones. Superman is equal to Spider-Man as my favorite as one of my favorite comic book characters. But unlike Spidey, Supes hasn't had the best go on screen as of late. Well, neither has Spider-Man, but he's in the MCU now, and he has a very good movie. But yeah, he did have a rough spot post 2007. Well, so did Superman. Fuck, maybe they are similar. Anyway, Superman, in my personal opinion, has gone down a very bumpy road within his DC film journey. He had a very divisive film, got the short end of the stick in what was supposed to be his sequel, and then got stabbed by a very long stick in the movie that was supposed to be his sequel, where he got the short end of the stick. Superman has never really felt like Superman in any of these films, nor has he felt like a very compelling revision of that character. I never felt like I got to know Clark Kent or Superman in either of these features. It's as if the writers want us to understand this character from previous knowledge of said character, but forget to understand that they are introducing a new version of that character. Who is your version of this character? Because he isn't the comic book version, so who is he? Who really is he deep down? And I never really got that. They don't really offer those solutions in this movie, but they do give us a Superman I think most have been waiting for, even though it's a little weird. For one, it is kind of cool to see that Superman is the reason for all these characters coming together. But Superman being the reason that the world broke doesn't really make sense because of what the films before this one showed. BVS showed a world fearful of the Man of Steel gazes and never really took the time to show a group of people who celebrated Superman as their champion. Anyway, so the big scene where Superman comes back. The League drops a mother box in Scout Ship Afterbirth, Flash gives it a jolt, and Superman wakes up doing what he does best. Flying through shit. He flies up and he lands in front of his statue, which is still broken in a world that loves Superman. Does this represent the world being broken without him? Did Metropolis run out of budget? Because that town has seen some shit in the last few years. I'm just kind of confused why they didn't rebuild that thing. But yeah, so Superman lands and is followed by a pretty happy-looking Justice League, except for Aquaman, who's having a panic attack. Superman isn't his full self, which makes sense since he's been dead for months, a year. I'm not sure, but he's been dead for a while. But yeah, he's suffering memory loss, and instead of doing something interesting with that and having the League or Batman cope Superman back into a world that hates him but now loves him, they do something that everyone called a year and a half ago, but no one wanted to happen. They fight. Superman fights the Justice League, and my eyes rolled to the back of my head. I hated this. For one, it was predictable. Two, it was weightless and lacked the superhuman action that the DC film universe is usually on point with. None of the punches held any impact. It was just really, really sloppy. I will say, however, that Superman spotting Flash as he ran toward him was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. The "do you bleed" part was not, nor was the lip. My God, that upper lip. The CGI artist that took off Henry Cavill's impossible mustache fuddled the mission. It's not always noticeable, but when it is, yeah. So Superman beats up all the League. Overpowered much? And look, I never say that about Superman. I love that the guy is a Swiss Army alien of powers and strength. But when a god killer can't give Superman a run for his reporter salary, then I got a problem. I mean, like, what can take you in this universe if one Roman can't even take you? So Super Douche continues on his rampage, soon confronting Batman. He grabs him by the freaking face, and we get way too close to Superman's face as he recites the do you bleed? Line to Batman, which means Superman remembers BVS and he's holding a man who saved his mother's life from another man who was going to fry her with a flamethrower. Look, the movie never really reveals the extent of Superman's memory loss, but Batman had nothing to do with your death, dude. Look, sure, he threw you around a little bit and he cut your face, which might have resulted in a limp lip, but he didn't kill you. He didn't really do anything to the extent that Lex Luthor, the guy who blew up the Capitol, framed you, kidnapped your mother, and fucking killed you, did. Sure, he isn't there. He's on a boat, chilling. He's out of reach. But Batman doesn't deserve a beatdown. He didn't really do anything to you. Well, he didn't do much, but this scene is fucking pointless and redundant. I know superheroes fighting each other is pretty much the equivalent to them shaking hands, but damn it, it doesn't have to happen every time. Especially in the movie which came after the other movie, which everybody fucking fought. It's a time to unite. Don't ununite. Or divide. Or, anyway, also, let's just say that Superman only remembers, like, BVS up until that point where Batman says, do you bleed? At that point, Superman stops Batman from catching criminals. I mean, sure, yeah, he killed all those guys, sure. But, like, Superman stops, lets criminals get away to stop the one dude. And Batman doesn't really have any altercation with Superman. He just tells him, do you bleed? And Superman flies away. He didn't do anything to you. He didn't do anything. Why is he being thrown around? Where's the hate, dude? He threatened you. That's it. That's it. I don't get the point of this fight. So Lois Lane shows up as Batman's contingency plan. Contingency. Batman's plan B. Lois Lane shows up as Batman's plan B. Probably should have led with that. I mean, imagine Superman and Lois consoling each other once Superman lands. Like, we skipped a fight and everything, and it's just Superman and Lois consoling each other with the ruins of his statue around him while the League stands around him as well. And they're all like, oh, man, like, Superman's back and the sun's shining on him, and it's just hopeful. And Superman looks up at Batman, and he's just like, you did this? Like, he says to Batman, you did this? And Batman's just like, yes, I did, Clark. I brought you back. And, and therefore Superman gets up and he hugs him, or he gives him a handshake. And then Batman is just like, I redeemed myself. And therefore, everybody is just basking in Superman's return. And it's just a nice, happy moment. And it's an emotional moment. Hope returns to the world. They got this. They have the mother box. Oh no, the mother box. Therefore, Steppenwolf crashes into the scene with a bunch of parademons. Superman's too weak to fight them off because he's still recovering from his death. And the League instead fight Steppenwolf, protecting Superman and Lois. Batman sends Flash after the mother box. He fails to retrieve it, and Steppenwolf gets the mother box in anyway and heading to Russia, where the newly formed League has to make their final stand. They have to gather and go to Russia and, make their final stand there. And that would have been awesome, or that's how I would have done it. But yeah, I would have liked that a little bit better than just some stupid team fight. Like, I would have rather them, they unite there, and then we also get more Superman with the team for the rest of the movie instead of him just being separated on the farm. I would have liked something that I don't care. Like, superheroes, they don't always have to fight. They do not always have to fight. I just don't care to always see all that. But let's just go back to the stuff that actually happened. So after the fight, after Lois arrives, Superman flies Lois to Smallville, and she says he smells good. Okay. I will say that Superman is admittedly very human in this scene, the way he doesn't want to stay in the house but play with CGI corn because he's been in a box for a while, and it's pretty human. He's just like, I just want to be outside. I want to be out in the open, and I really like that. And also, with Martha showing back up, I love Diane Lane as Martha Kent. She is great. She's just so great as Martha Kent. That was super emotional, and that actually felt earned, so that was cool. And then Superman in the plot remember that the world is ending, and he flies off at the most convenient moment to fight the wolf. Now this was fucking awesome. It was a CGI mess, but I would be lying to you if I didn't say that I was over the moon finally seeing Superman, the Superman I know and love on the big screen after so many years. And it was also a great team. Like, the team fighting Steppenwolf was cool. It was dynamic. It was fun. It was nice to see. Like, you know, there was weight to it. Like, when Steppenwolf threw Aquaman, like, there was actual weight to it. And while it doesn't really make sense how Superman was acting based on his previous behavior, Henry Cavill fits Happy Superman like a glove. Superman, he fits this role like a glove. He does it so well. He's funny, he smiles, he inspires. He's Superman. He's fucking Superman. My phone just went off. He's fucking Superman, finally. And just seeing him around all these people, and him and Cyborg, and, you know, him and Batman. There's actually some really cool framing of him and Batman sitting in front of the mother box. I mean, it was great. It was great to see that. You know, he's just like, is this guy still messing? Oh, my phone just went off again. And he's just like, is this guy still messing with you? And, you know, he punches him. It was cool. It was cool. So the Justice League wins the day. They won the day, and they have a soundstage shot, and everything is super optimistic. And DC once again promises that the next movie will be better than this one, and the movie ends. So, yeah, with the Superman stuff in this movie, I liked half of it. I really liked when he was in the suit kicking ass. But the other stuff where he wakes up and everything, I could care less. They could have found a much more emotional, because him dealing with coming back from death, that's something you could really play with. And I think, you know, they don't have to have the fight. That's a good way for him to meet everybody, for, you know, everybody to just, you know, be on his side and really get him back where he needs to be, have the League be that support group for him. I think that would have been a lot cooler than him just fighting everybody. And then showing up, like literally showing up the most convenient moment. He wasn't that much involved in the final battle, which I would have liked to see more, because, you know, that's the Justice League. But yeah, I mean, yeah. This movie, it's not aging well for me, guys. It's just, you know, it's been 5 days, and I'm just, you know, just not aging well. But the Superman stuff is cool. I want to see more of him. Me and my friend Dylan Boyd, he's one of the guys on Tiller's Credit. We talk about, like, Superman being a mentor toward Shazam. If, like, Shazam is a Spider-Man Homecoming situation, I think that would be kind of cool for Superman. A Man of Steel 2, regardless of what I thought about that movie, needs to happen, because that's more focused on Superman. You can make you can learn a lot more about his human side, which, by the way, I kind of wish they would have thrown out a line or something with how they're going to explain how Clark Kent is back, or whatever identity Superman has taken up now. I wish they kind of alluded toward that, but they didn't. Because, you know, in the Rebirth comics, he's someone else. He still has the name Clark, but he's, you know, taken on a different identity. He lives in a different place, so hopefully they can explain that. I mean, like, no one's going to be like, hey, Clark, we had a funeral for you and everything. You're back. And it's just like, Clark's just like, huh, yeah, Flashpoint. What the hell's that? But, yeah, I mean, the Superman stuff was fine, and could have been better, but from what I saw, it was fine. I mean, you know, we got to see the Superman that we've always been waiting to see. Like I said, bumpy road to get there, but he's here, and can't wait to see more of him. So, guys, what did you think of this video? Please let me know in the comment sections below. What did you guys think of Superman? Did you guys like the return? Did you hate the return? Did you like him fighting? Was the CGI weightless to you? Did you notice his CGI lip? I'm sorry, it has to be brought up because it's there, and it's very noticeable. At least for me, it was. And yeah, but what do you guys think? And what do you also think of Justice League as a whole, now that's out now? Today's the first day of release. How do you think it's going to do at the box office? Comment below, discuss. Please let me know. If you want to see my thoughts on Justice League, please check the video out here. And also, if you want to hear a spoiler discussion and more thoughts on Justice League, you can head over to Till Last Credit, where I did a review with them, and there will also be a spoiler review posted on that channel as well. So, guys, with all that being said, I'm Darren Jr. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll catch you guys next time.